Now let's get into the tea. Let's get into the things that are the controversial differences in tech specs. You know, I can't say this, if the Note goes away. What is up, YouTube? Today we're taking a look at the Galaxy S21 Ultra versus the Galaxy Note 10 Plus, the uber popular Galaxy Note 10 Plus. This is one of the best designed Galaxy Notes that has ever been released, but this is the newest and latest greatest offering from Samsung. This is the S Series Ultra lineup. This is kind of like the Note without the S Pen type of thing. And it's getting kind of controversial because of the line is being blurred between the two. Why would you make this video, CJ? Because one, the people have asked for it over and over in my comment section. I am a reviewer, a man of the people, so I give the people what they want. So you're gonna get this. Number two, there may be users who are out there who have the Note 10 Plus and wanna see if the S21 Ultra has something to offer for them to make that upgrade or that jump. Do the pros outweigh the cons? And then number three, there may be a new shopper out there who wants to decide, do I buy a Note 10 Plus, save some money, get something that's, you know, slightly older but still current in its time? Or do I grab the latest and greatest and spend a little bit more? So let's answer all of those questions, as well as let's talk about this thing from the perspective of user experience. But this is not a spec sheet read off by any chance. We'll get into the specs and physical differences that matter in this versus. All right, we have in-glass fingerprint sensors, and as long as you are good with your placement on the in-glass fingerprint sensor, it will do well. The Note 10 Plus is good, but the S21 Ultra has a new, bigger in-glass fingerprint sensor, which allows for more accuracy. Now, I can use my Note 10 Plus because I'm a Note 10 Plus user and I know how to hit it. But for a new person, the in-glass fingerprint sensor will be nicer and newer on the S21 Ultra. Just something to think about as far as, you know, convenience of unlocking your device. Now, let's get into the tea. Let's get into the things that are the controversial differences in tech specs. The first thing is gonna be the lack of SD expandable memory on the S21 Ultra, which is here and present and alive and well on the Note 10 Plus. There's an argument both ways for the removal of the expansion of SD card slot space on the S21 Ultra. So there's something to think about. If you're getting a Note 10 Plus, you can get a lower storage option, expand it via SD card memory, and like store all of your photos and videos directly onto that, keeping your internal storage free. But with the newest, latest, fastest storage option on Samsung, you know what I mean, you having access to all of those things in the fastest way possible. So it's like kind of like technology outweighing, I guess, consumer convenience and value and so, I don't know. You can only get up to 512 gigabytes, which is gonna cost you over $1,300, where on a Note 10 Plus, especially if you get it secondhand, you get this phone priced extremely great and value driven, as well as if you get it brand new, you should be able to get a good price point and have the option of expanding your memory and so forth. So something to think about. Number two, it's gonna hit below the belt for a lot of Samsung fans who love Samsung Pay with the use of MST. It is magnetic strip transmission, and it basically allows you to take your device, your Samsung device, older smartwatches and older smartphones with MST technology. You could run into somewhere that does not have Apple Pay or Samsung Pay, and you can literally tap your phone to that device and it will still transmission as if you had a physical card. But the more and more that NFC is being adopted in businesses everywhere, the less and less need for MST. But there still are those mom and pop small neighborhood places that don't have Apple Pay and so forth, and you can still use a device like the Note 10 Plus that has MST, where you wouldn't be able to use the S21 Ultra that is only NFC. I've seen in the comments, I know you guys who are Samsung users appreciate and respect having your SD card slots as well as your MST. Let's get the elephants out of the room up front in between these two. Now, when it comes to display, you guys, look at these devices. It's the same 6.8-inch sizing of display. The display is gonna be beautiful either way you go. Even though the S21 Ultra is rated at higher nits brightness to some degree than the Note 10 Plus, like right now looking with my physical eye, the Note 10 Plus appears brighter. And here's the funny thing about it. I have my S21 Ultra at its max peak brightness, and I don't even have the Note 10 Plus at that. So either way you go, you're gonna still have a super bright device that is able to be seen and perform well. Also, it's gonna look beautifully bright and vibrant and saturated regardless what content you're watching, because what matters? User experience. Is my user experience gonna be any different on this S21 Ultra and Note 10 Plus display-wise as far as just visual and seeing things that look great on these Samsung displays. No, but there is one place that it is, and that is the 120 Hz refresh rate that is available on this here S21 Ultra, which allows for scrolling things on like social media to be nice and smooth and not as blurry. It has that super fast refresh rate. It's just a smoother, nice, seamless experience. But even if I were to go to Instagram on my Note 10 Plus and I scroll, maybe some of you may not notice a difference. Does it really matter in the sense of user experience? The majority of you are using your display at 60 Hz right now. But outside of that, user experience wise with displays, you're still gonna get that great Samsung display experience. You're still gonna enjoy it. Tit for tat. Now, one other physical difference that we can't gap and close is the fact that the S21 Ultra is packing a humongous 5,000 milliamp hour battery versus the Note 10 Plus 4,300 milliamp hours. That's a difference of 700 milliamp hours in between these two devices, which separates the curve. Now, what's really dope about newer phones and the newer technology and software and so forth is we have this AI learning that becomes more familiar with your usage patterns. It studies you and then it optimizes your device so that you get better battery power per your usage. So when you first get a device, it might seem a little different in the sense of battery. You might not be as satisfied, but keep using that device so it can learn your patterns and then the battery will adjust. And then after using the device for a long time, if the battery isn't satisfactory to you, then you know that that battery capacity on that device doesn't line up with you. So battery is always subjective to the user. We can't say that that 700 milliamp hour battery is a super deciding factor, but it definitely is a physical difference that is by a sizable amount that we can measure physically. Some of you guys are heavier users. You guys like to game and do all those type of things. Those things tax the battery more. So 5,000 milliamp hour battery might appeal to you a lot greater than a 4,300 milliamp hour battery. Just something to keep in mind as far as your user experience overall with battery. So we gotta keep in mind, it's quite obvious, the Note 10 Plus is a year and a half, maybe 2 years, depending on when you watch this video. It is behind the S21 Ultra by a year and a half as far as when it came out compared to when this one came out. So that comes at the cost of this having the Snapdragon 855 versus this one having the Snapdragon 888. Now, chip isn't only the thing that you measure performance with, because yeah, if you look at Geekbench scores and all that type of thing, the S21 Ultra is gonna beat the Note 10 Plus by a sizable percentage, but there's also improvements that come with new chips such as efficiency. They're always trying to improve the performance as well as efficiency for battery usage. So that's something to keep in mind technology-wise. That aside, let's talk about the user experience performance-wise. Whether you go Note 10 Plus or S21 Ultra, are you gonna have a snappy device? Are you gonna feel like you have a slug versus the S21 Ultra? Absolutely not. Both of these things will fly. And they also have great RAM management between the two. So if you're worried about, oh, if I get a Note 10 Plus, I'll have a slug in comparison to the S21 Ultra as a new buyer, that is not the case. Now, if you're a Note 10 Plus user and you're wondering if you're gonna feel a difference in the S21 Ultra, you will, because you gotta keep in mind, not only does it have a later processing chip, which offers a faster performance, but it also has a newer display with the 120 Hz experience, as well as a larger, newer in-glass fingerprint sensor. So the combination of all of those things is gonna give you a newer, current vibe and user experience. But does it feel that much of a difference to feel like you're getting an upgrade from the Note 10 Plus to the S21 Ultra? If anybody watching this video went from the Note 10 Plus to the S21 Ultra, let people know from your perspective as a user of both devices how you feel in that upgrade. So that way you help the next person who's looking to upgrade make a more sound tech decision, because that's what it's all about. You guys as a community help as well as I give my opinion, but it's really the community that helps each other. So get in that comment section down below, let people know your experience, whether you went to it, loved it, or you went to it and then you went back. So y'all know what to do. Here's the thing that everybody loves about their smartphone. It is the camera. The camera is a place where a lot of people take photos, share memories, engage in social media. So it is important to everyone. We have a separation physically and tech spec wise between the cameras. The first place I want to start is on the front facing camera, because that is the camera that most of us use the most. We all take selfies, we record ourselves, whether you're making content for Instagram or Twitter and so forth. As you can see, my fingerprint sensor took 2 taps to get to. The camera is a place where we all can agree we use and we rely on. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn on the front-facing camera on both. Now, here's the thing. We have a 40 megapixel selfie camera on the S21 Ultra versus a 10 megapixel? Yeah, 10 megapixels on the Note 10 Plus. It's not my favorite camera, the 10 megapixel one. I'll just be straightforward and honest, but looking at these displays, it's not doing bad. So let's snap a photo. Oh, I almost hit the power button on the Note 10 Plus. Let's get it. Cheese. Okay, let me pull up these photos for review. Now, I'll be honest, I don't like, the difference is definitely apparent looking at the displays. So I don't really like judging photos from the displays of the smartphones because these smartphones add sauce visually via their display. Like, I like when I pull it out and I look in the computer and I actually see the actual photo and I put it up and you guys will see it on the screen. That's what I like to use to judge. But from the display, like, I can see the difference, you guys. I mean, I can see so much more detail. You can tell there's 40 megapixels over here versus 10. Wow. So if you're a person who takes a lot of selfies, if you take selfie video and things like that, so let me switch to selfie video real quick. All right, let's get that selfie video popping. As you guys can see, the overhead rig capturing all of the goods right now. Now we got the 40 megapixel versus the 10 megapixel video-wise. You guys be the judge. You guys can also go to my Instagram. I'll make sure I post these photos from this versus, so that way you guys can check them out. Honestly, front-facing camera, I'm gonna go with the S21 Ultra. I'm gonna go with more megapixels over less because me as a video creator, I understand how important it is to have higher megapixels. That doesn't mean I'm gonna be better because I have more megapixels. Although 40 megapixels is in the favor of the person using it as far as quality and detail, if you know what to do with 10 megapixels and you understand lighting and you understand how to get the best out of your sensor, you can get great shots. But typically, the more megapixels, the better. Now, when it comes to the rear main camera, which is the main one you're gonna use on the rear end, we got 12 megapixels on the Note 10 Plus versus 108 megapixels on the S21 Ultra. Let's take a rear photo and see if it makes a difference. Now, this is gonna be hard to do because I gotta hold these two and use them both. One of them wasn't even tilted towards me. Oh, hold up, let me do that again. Rear facing camera selfie going down. Okay. You know what's crazy looking at the photos from the rear? Like, I like the Note 10 Plus rear camera better than the S21 Ultra. The S21 Ultra for some reason is just super bright. I like the contrast that I get on my Galaxy Note 10 Plus in comparison. Okay, so that was the main wide camera on the back, which most users will use. We also have an ultra wide on both. And then there's one camera you get on this S21 Ultra that you will not get on the Note 10 Plus, and that is the brand new 10x zoom camera, the periscope one. And I actually like it. The periscope camera, 10x zoom, the clarity, just the crispiness that I've gotten out of that on the S21 Ultra, which is not something that you can get on your Note 10 Plus. It's something that I do value, but it's not a typical everyday user experience type of thing. Every user is not gonna use that camera. Something to think about, something that some users will need, some users won't need. Probably most, it doesn't matter as much, but like, you know, when you're out and about and you wanna get that photo and you need that extra reach, having that dedicated 10x zoom camera is a plus. So we've already talked camera, performance, display, design, and so forth. What matters most when comparing these two devices is user experience. Something that's gonna be big in that user experience in this Galaxy Note 10 Plus that won't be apparent or as big, but is kind of there, is the S Pen. But the reason why it's bigger in the Note 10 Plus is the fact that you can actually physically store your S Pen inside of your Galaxy Note 10 Plus or Note 20 Ultra for that matter. Any Note. That's something that the S21 Ultra cannot do. And in order to have your S Pen usage, which this S21 Ultra does have S Pen support, you have to carry your S Pen separately within a case and so forth. So it's not as convenient to carry. But I see a lot of comments in the comment section loving the size of the S Pen that you would use with the S21 Ultra. A lot of people say it's better for comfort and things of that matter. The problem is, how are you gonna carry that bigger, larger S Pen without it being an inconvenience? So some people might opt in for the case. Me personally, I don't like it. It extends and it kind of adds like a bezel. Also, even if you get the folio, you're just adding more bulk to the phone. I like to use my phones in their non-case form. That's the way that I enjoy to use it. It's less bulk, which is more convenient to me personally. Beyond that, S Pen support is on the S21 Ultra, just like it is on the Note 10. There's a few things that aren't there because you don't have the Bluetooth, S Pen support, and so forth like that. But all in all, realistically, you still get S Pen usage on the S21 Ultra as you would on the Note 10 Plus. You just lose that convenience of being able to store that S Pen inside of your device. And my preference is Galaxy Note for that matter. But all in all, I can use the S21 Ultra with an S Pen and get pretty much the same user experience. Now, you thinking with user experience, the Note 10 Plus is old and dated. It's not gonna give you that swag and that current vibe and feel. You're absolutely wrong. This thing still flies. This thing still is a great user experience. I can save money, buy a Note 10 Plus, whether it's secondhand, which is really gonna save some money, or brand new, have a great, I don't even know if you could get these brand new. I don't know, comment down below. Can you even get a Note 10 Plus brand new? Regardless, you can buy this thing on the secondhand market at a great price, get a nice, near mint, whatever your budget allows. And you can have a very nice flagship user experience. You're getting that expandable storage, which you don't get here, MST, which you don't get here. You're getting a snappy device. It's gonna be supported 3 years. We're a year and a half in at this current point. So, come, 2022, August, this thing is no longer supported. Something to keep in mind too, the timeline. If you get this device, how long are you gonna use it? And do updates and software support matter to you from the manufacturer? Because the time is ticking on the Note 10 Plus. Whereas if you go S21 Ultra, you're super new, you're super fresh in that, you got 3 years left or 2.5, whatever, depending on the timeline when you're watching this video, but you have a lot longer time for software support and updates, and you're gonna get the latest Android and so forth into those 3 years. Now we all know, Samsung devices, they don't hold their value well. Let's just be honest. In comparison to the beginning and so forth. That's why you get a Note 10 Plus at a great price point. I'm pretty sure on the S21 Ultra in time, the price point will come down. So depending on when you're looking at this and that'll like weigh out the true perspective of value and cost and so forth. I just wanna say this, user experience on both of these are nice, phenomenal. If you're a Note 10 Plus user and you're wondering, if I upgrade to the S21 Ultra, will it be worth it? Are you gonna feel like you got an upgrade? Yes. And anybody who upgraded from this Note 10 Plus to the S21 Ultra, comment your experience down below in the comment section right now and let someone know. All these rumors, the next Galaxy Note may not be releasing, or it may release and it may be subpar, it might be a fan edition, we don't know yet. So you wondering, should I just get this S21 Ultra instead of trying to wait for a Note that may or may not come? That's a tough decision, because we still haven't got confirmation or true word what's really going on. It's all speculation and assumptions. I think this is just building hype, you know what I mean? And whatever decision you make, live with it. Because if you jump on the S Series Ultra wave and then you see a new Note come and you feeling salty, you gotta understand that that is a risk you take at this current moment. But if you've been one of those Note users who don't really use the S Pen and you're really a S Series Ultra user, truthfully, even though you like the Note and so forth, and you like being able to use the S Pen, but you don't really use it, S21 Ultra is the device that's why they gave you S Pen support for people like that. So they don't have to have an S Pen, but if they want it, they have the choice to. Now, if you're a first-time buyer and you're trying to weigh, do I go S21 Ultra versus a Note 10 Plus and so forth, there's a lot of factors to that. Why aren't you looking at the Note 20 Ultra in comparison? Is it because this is more cost effective for you? Then you kind of got your answer right there. If you're looking at the Note 10 Plus versus the Note 20 Ultra, but there could be other reasons you don't like the Note 20 Ultra's design. The Note 10 Plus is one of the better looking Notes. I agree with you there. It's a tough decision in a sense. It's really about your personal finances and your personal position and how you really stand on these devices, how you value technology and things like that. That's gonna help you make that decision. So I can't make that decision for you. I pretty much just tried to lay it out as, truthfully honest as I can. And you guys got any other points that I did not touch on, hit the comment section down below and let the people know. Also, if you haven't hit the like button by now, that's an absolute crime. Smash the like button. My name is CJ, this is CJ Unplugged, baby. That was the Note 10 Plus versus the S21 Ultra. I will say this, I love both of these devices. Right now, Of course, it's the latest and the greatest, so I'm enjoying the S21 Ultra, and as a Note user, I'm enjoying it more than I anticipated. You know, I can't say this, if the Note goes away, I can use the S21 Ultra and get along fine.
Where do I begin?